I'm going to have a look down the outside. Probably not advisable. Don't know how this is going to work. Ooh, Christ almighty. What's going on, guys? My name is Matilio and welcome back to Project Cars 2 and round 5 of the WSRC Group A Touring Car Championship. And this time around, as you can see on screen, we are at the historic Zolder circuit in Belgium for what will be the second European round, so to speak, of the championship season so far. And yeah, so last time out at Alton Park, very tricky race, very tricky conditions, and I would love to be able to tell you that this round was taking part in just bone dry conditions and we got some real proper racing where we haven't to worry about dry tyres or wet tyres or all of that, but sadly it's not the case, as most of the race and in the entirety of qualifying took part in wet conditions. So yeah, what we're going to do though, first of all, we're just going to jump straight into it because there's nothing changed since last week with regards to rules and regulations. So yeah, we're going to jump straight into qualifying and we're going to see what happened. And on to qualifying, and I'd love to be able to say that this was a absolutely perfect qualifying, but in all honesty I think this was the qualifying from hell. For a number of reasons. Reason number one, I came out, I did most of my warm-up lap, then realised that the car felt a bit funny. I hadn't put my correct qualifying setup on, so I had to duck back into the pits and put the right setup on. Then, as you can see, as we were going through the lap itself and the run, real struggle to get heat into the rear tyres and the right front tyre as well. I played with pressures. I'm not using symmetrical pressures or anything like that. I'm setting it all manually each tyre, and still I was struggling to get heat into the tyres. And it's not like this is our first lap. This is our fourth lap we're on right now, and still struggling to get heat into the tyres. So that was disappointing because in the practice qualifyings I ran for this, temperatures were okay, and I did a high 44 was my best time through practice, but couldn't get anywhere close to it in this qualifying session. It just came down to the tyres, so I don't know whether there's a bit of a disconnect between the practice sessions and how you set it up compared to this. The conditions and everything else, the parameters were all exactly the same in practice in the race, but for some reason I just couldn't emulate it. So it's either there's a bit of a disconnect between the two game modes, the full-blown online racing or the practice, or I'm just not very good in qualifying on the night. Either way, you choose. The other problem we had, and this came towards the end of qualifying, you're going to see how much of a problem this caused in the race. After qualifying had finished, it dumped us straight. I went for another lap after this one, and basically I ran right to the end of qualifying and it just dumped us straight into the race. There was no pre-race lobby, so I was stuck on a quali setup that had 5 laps of fuel in the car. And in addition to that, because my race setup was just full fuel, I didn't create a pit stop setup that had fuel in, so I was basically screwed from the start. But as we come across the line, it's going to be a 149.006, which puts us in 4th place. However, come the end of qualifying, as you're about to see, we had been demoted to 5th place because Colonel Redeye pipped us once again into 4th there, so well done to him. Looking at the top of the table though, and top of the grid, Devil Dog, newcomer for this week, an Aussie apparently, looking at the game, an absolutely blistering lap, but look at the difference between him and Popeye. 6/1000 of a second. It's basically neck and neck, and so a very, very good qualifying from him. We've got Peo in 3rd place. Well, we've got Colonel Redeye and ourselves, which we've already mentioned. We've got BMC Racing in 6th place on his Skyline, Mitch in 7th in the BMW. We've got Silverwolf, Matt Jeffrey, Tom, and the one driver you can't see just out of picture is Twisted Tyre Fitter in his Sierra Cosworth. So yeah, not a brilliant qualifying from us, but as we've shown in the last few races, we can make absolutely lightning starts, so it's not the end of the world. Before we jump into the race though, let's just remind ourselves of the league table going into the race. So myself still sitting top of the table with a 7-point lead over Popeye. Then we've got Peo in 3rd place with 52 points, Matt Jeffrey on 50 just behind. Then we've got a three-way scrap for 5th place with Twisted Tyre Fitter, Mitch and Colonel Redeye, just 2 points separating them. Then we've got Atreus and Hotshot Kev. They're not here, unfortunately, for this race, so they're going to miss out and probably drop further down the table. Then we've got Silverwolf, Tom, BMC Racing, Laz, who is not here. Neither is Cherry Glenn. Also, he was the newcomer from last week, but he's not here for this race. And the one person you don't see on that table at the moment is Devil Dog, but if he can convert that pole into a win, then he'll definitely be on the table by the end of it. But yeah, so like I said, very tough qualifying, very difficult, numerous problems. But what we're going to do now is we are going to jump down to the grid for the live commentary of the race. We're going to see how that goes and how I sort out this problem with regards to having just 5 laps of fuel in and no actual pit stop setup, which is going to add fuel. It's going to be interesting to say the least. So let's head down to the grid. Okay then, guys, here we go. Another rocket start.
That's a fantastic start.
Whoa, Jesus Christ, bro. Fucking coming across on there. Oh, fucking Jesus. We're up into second, and now we've got to chase Popeye down. But because I was pretty much the last car to finish the last flying lap of qualifying, it just took us straight to the race lobby, so I don't actually have enough fuel to finish the race. And we're up into the lead.
You're in the first place. Well done.
Yeah, I've got power right up her backside. And I need to figure out how I can get some more fuel in this car. so hard to keep your concentration while you're trying to figure out how you can add fuel to the bloody car. Yeah, concentration's all gone to crap at the minute because
Careful the guy behind us, try and make him pass. Think about the fence.
it's put me on my bloody quali strategy. I didn't have a chance to change it to my race strategy, so I've got no fuel, and I haven't got a pit strategy that's going to put fuel in the car. I was just going to go for tyres. Well, quote me miserable at the minute. We're going to have a look down the outside. Probably not advisable. Don't know how this is going to work. Ooh, Christ almighty. Oh god, I couldn't even see the bloody corner then. Oh, bloody. And I get a warning for contacts. So hard to see anything. I'm probably going to have to come in at the end of this lap. Try and figure out if I can get some fuel in the car. Ooh, that was a nasty one.
That's P1. Great job. Keep pushing.
Oh shit, lost it. Oh, across these puddles is not pleasant. Oh yeah, just cut right across my nose. Good job.
You're low on fuel.
Oh, well, I'm just going to have to go with the default and see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't stick me on bloody... Hopefully it just doesn't stick me on dry tyres. Hopefully it just puts fuel in the car and lets me go. Because, like I said, I'm out of options otherwise and the race is over for us. There are mandatory pit stops, so everybody is going to have to stop at least once. And luckily, I don't have to find the right pit box. It's right here. Oh, please, God, put fuel in the car. Please, I'm begging you, put fuel in the car. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Oh, God. I don't care if it's too much. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. And if they're not going to put tyres on, then that's fine. I don't care. I can get to the end of the race on these tyres. Go. Let's go. Oh, thank you, Lord. What have we got? Oh, we should have enough to get to the end of the race on that. So we got about, what, 13 laps to get ourselves back into this race. Let's go to work. Well, we're 45 seconds off the lead. But everybody still has to make their mandatory pit stop. Whoa, shit! Oh, I'm sorry, man. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. I mean, there wasn't really many places I could go. I'm really sorry, Silver Wolf, man. I will extend my apologies in the Discord. I can only hope those at the front at some point going to take a... Oh, we got more rain coming in. I was about to say, I was hoping the front ones were going to gamble at some point on their pit stop on dry tyres. But supposedly we got more rain coming, which should be with us before the end of the race. Oh, I have to be so hesitant over that patch. I bloody hate that bit. Oh, sorry, Mitch. I'm really struggling to get it slowed down then. Give him a bit of space. Hopefully try and get him on the next one. Right, down to it. He's going to defend it. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Fucking hell, man. Fucking brakes are just basically crap at the minute. I really don't want to force it. Was he drifting it around that corner? He is. Oh, unlucky Mitch. I thought he was going to do that then. I thought he was going to have it sideways around that corner. Oh, this is going to be interesting because these two are battling for position, so... Okay, guys, you're going to let me through? Thank you, Mr. Tyre Fitter. Very gracious of you. Oh, we've got Mr. Silverwolf just ahead of us. We are at the moment up to 4th. Remember at the start of the last lap we saw a skyline beached in the gravel. Which was former leader Dev, I think his name is. And now he's behind us by about 15 seconds, so I think we're good there. Oh shit, no. Oh, god damn it. Good job, that's a bloody back marker behind us. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the end of the race for me. Well, it's not the results I would have wanted, but considering the circumstances, no proper pit strategy. I think 4th place is the best we could have hoped for. That was a tough race. It really was a tough race. Not just in the wet, but also on a dry track as well with wet tyres that were worn. Yeah, like I said, it was just with qualifying. We went straight from the qualifying right to the race lobby. There was no pre-lobby in between, so I couldn't select my pit strategy or my actual race strategy because I have 2 separate setups. Basically, one for the race and one for Thinger. So yeah, that pretty much screwed me, and I think we only just got away with that thanks to the default setup. But yeah, Popeye wins. I think I saw Colonel Redeye on the last lap just snag 2nd place from Peo, so very, very good from him. Very well done. But yeah, so what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to the other Matinho once again, and we're going to take a look at the post-race analysis. So there you have it then, guys. Round 5 at Zolder in the books, and from my own personal standpoint, I think the race was ruined before we'd even turned a wheel in anger, as the game decided in its infinite wisdom to put me into the race with a qualifying strategy on it and not give me any opportunity to change it before the race started. So yeah, I think without that maybe we could have challenged for the win. You know, we lost a lot of time trying to figure out the problem, you know, just losing concentration and making mistakes in the early part of the race, trying to figure out the menus and find some way to get fuel into the car. And then when we did make the pit stop, obviously it overfueled us, which added weight and probably added tyre wear as well. And yeah, like I said, I think without all that maybe we could have challenged for the win, but we'll never know now. I think all things considered, 4th place is a pretty good result, but yeah, I can't help thinking what could have been really, you know. But there we go. So looking at the rest of the results, as you can see, Popeye wins his 3rd race of the season. It could have been oh so different, however, because we're going to take a look at a replay now. This is coming onto the penultimate lap of the race, and as you can see, here's Popeye coming around the corner. Maybe gets a little bit too wide, drops the rear end, and has a massive shunt into that wall coming into turn 4. And I think he had to kind of limp and tippy-toe himself around because there's quite a bit of damage to the car towards the end of the race. You know, another lap and a half pretty much. And Colonel Redeye and Peo weren't too far behind, so I think if that race had gone on another lap or 2, I think maybe he was going to get caught. But you know, well done for getting round there. But like I said, it could have been oh so different. On the subject of Colonel Redeye and Peo, though, we're going to take a look at another replay now. We're on board with Colonel Redeye. This is on the last lap of the race, coming down to the final chicane, and as you can see, Peo maybe takes a little bit too much speed through the first part of the chicane, gets a little bit wide, and doesn't get the greatest exit coming into the right-hander onto the start-finish straight. Colonel Redeye absolutely nails his exit, and he's side by side with him. They're going to have a drag down to the line, and Colonel Redeye just pips Peo into 2nd place at the last. There's only 6/100ths of a second between them by the end. So yeah, keep going till the end, never quit. you know, you sometimes get your rewards, and Colonel Red Eye did today. So very, very good result for him. Convinced the races to PO, but he still gets a podium. But yeah, very good result, very good racing from them too. Looking at the rest of the standings, as we know, myself in 4th place. Then we've got BMC Racing in 5th. We've got Matt Jeffrey in 6th. 7th place, we've got Devil Dog, and he also had problems with pit stops, because when he came in for his one and only pit stop, the pit crew put dry tyres on, and as you can see, there's quite a bit of standing water even at the end with the sun out. There's still quite a bit of standing water in places, so that pretty much ruined his race. I'm not sure if he went in and got another set of wet tyres on, or if he just tippy-toed himself around to the end of the race, but yeah, he was leading for quite a good, you know, a decent period of the race, and looked good for potentially getting a win there. So disappointing for him, obviously. Then we've got Mitch in 8th place in his BMW. Tom, who I mistakenly called Silverwolf when I had my little snafu with him. I have apologised in the Discord, and I'll extend my apologies again to him there for that little coming together there. And then bringing up the rear, we've got Silverwolf in the Skyline. We did lose Twisted Tyre Fitter at one point during the race. I'm not sure when it was. I don't think he rage quit. I think it just may have just been connection drops, which, you know, is not unheard of in this game or any other game for that matter. So yeah, disappointed for him, but I still think he gets points for wherever he was when he was disconnected. So yeah, there are the results. Let's take a look at the league table now. And as you can see, we've been demoted to 2nd place now, as Popeye has taken a 6-point lead into the next round. Then we've got Payout on 68 points, Matt Jeffrey on 60, Colonel Red Eye with his 2nd place moves up to 5th place and makes that his own pretty much on 59 points. Then we've got Mitch on 48, Twisted Tyre Fitter on 41, Atreus, of course, who wasn't there for this round, on 32 points still. Then we've got Silverwolf, BMC, and Tom of all leapfrogged Hotshot Kev, who again wasn't here this weekend. Then we've got Laz and Cherry Glen bringing up the rear, but again, they weren't here racing for this race. So yeah, like I said, it could have been a hell of a lot different for us, but you know, we'll persevere and we'll move on to the next round. Next time out, we will be heading to Snetterton, the 300 layout, which does admittedly look like a penis, but we won't hold that against it, because it's from what I've heard, it's going to be a fully dry race. Thankfully, thank God, it's going to be a fully dry race. But yeah, that's the end of today's episode, guys, so thank you everybody so much for watching. If you did enjoy, would like to see more Project Cars 2 or general racing content from myself, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to get involved with the guys from the weekly Sim Racing Championships group, then there's a link in the description to their Facebook group. They've got a number of different categories of racing on all different days throughout the week, not only on PS4 but PC as well, so check out the link in the description if you'd like to get involved. Tell them Matinho sent you. But again, guys, thank you everybody so much for watching. Stay cool, and as always, I will catch you in the next round, where, as I said, we're heading to Snetterton. Peace!